What is going on, fellas? Today, we're going to be talking about the 3 best TVs for gaming that we have just now changed all the way altogether. Yes, we're talking the 3 best top-of-the-line type TVs for gaming. We're talking Samsung QD OLEDs, which are basically number 1, and then LG traditional OLEDs, which is basically at number 2, and then mini LED from either Hisense or TCL, although I personally prefer TCL, but Hisense has actually became the number 1 brand in terms of mini LED cells and said, just mini LED TVs in general. But I personally think, even though they're actually quite honestly good, I honestly still think that TCL at a very good, is so much better, affordable in terms of just gaming features and just gaming performance and whatnot. Is actually on sale for $1,000 that I will give TCL credit on, but if Hisense doesn't do, want to save a little bit of money. Then I would HDMI 2.1 ports the previous year the TVs have only support variable refresh rate. The 2023 variable refresh rate on the two is HDMI 2.0 primarily 2.0 in our gaming and whatnot. Well, not gaming room, but on our main bedroom area, you can get variable refresh rate still on the 2 with HDMI 2.0 ports. So with like having some really good contrast and really good still colors Xbox Series X, you also have a PlayStation 5, and I was have a gaming PC, or let alone maybe you still like to play on an Xbox One LED TV, the Xbox One X. Well, recent years, you're not going to be pretty much missing out on 2024 edition. If you get a TCL, it's supposed to be very identical to the 2023 Here is a glimpse of there might be some downgrades that it have just purchased, some upgrades, and honestly, some of the downgrades our gaming is just, I would say, never going to be any better. But brightness it's never going to get any better. Be really that much different. It's going to be pretty much identical to the QM8 from 2023. However, though, the QM7 does have somewhere around 21,000 more contrast ratio than the QM8 2023. If you go to ratings.com, they actually give this TV just a recently upgrade in contrast. Like this TV, when Ratings first reviewed it early last year, this TV did not, however, go up to, it was like right around 66,000 contrast ratio, which is still really quite honestly good, especially if the TV is a VA panel, which it truthfully is. And that is another area that I'll give, Sony, TCL, and Hisense all credit. And LG has recently started doing this, when LG used to be the one that would just do ADS or IPS panels, and Samsung for a minute did go to ADS panels, but now they went to VA panels from 2024 models of TVs, and they still are doing that with their new 2025 TVs. So if I was to pick an LED TV, I would absolutely pick one with a VA panel, so that way you can get the good contrast, you can get the good colors and such. You would get pretty much almost close to OLED levels of just contrast, colors, and just, clarity and whatnot if you go with a VA panel. So, $700 for the last year QM7, I think is a very, very awesome deal. Now, we wasn't originally going to buy this TV, but since we actually decided to upgrade our bedroom with our new PlayStation 5 that we bought from our friend for pretty much helping him get an Xbox, that basically helped him out, plus helped us out, finally get our last PlayStation 5, this is honestly the best thing that we have ever done. So, we have a Samsung QD OLED, which basically is in our game room that we're currently in, and then we have an LG traditional OLED downstairs in our living room, and now in our main bedroom, we have a TCL mini LED. So now we can experience the 3 best high quality TVs and get the benefits of each and every single one of them. Now, the HDMI 2.1 ports and such like that, OLED is always going to give you all of the HDMIs to be 2.1. So with us having two PlayStation 5 Pros, as well as a regular PS5 and a Series X, well, it actually works out better like this, because now we have three HDMI 2.1 ports that we can use on both of our OLEDs that have all of them. And then now in our bedroom on our TCL, we only have two of the latest generation consoles, just being a regular PS5 and just a regular Series X. So we basically have just the two HDMI 2.1 ports that we can use to get the best out of them consoles. And keep in mind, we definitely are not planning on buying a PlayStation 5 Pro for our bedroom. We're just simply sticking with our current PS5 that we just got from our friend in there, and our Series X that we have in there as well. And that's honestly literally what it's going to be. So I know it might sound a little weird that we have, few different consoles in each room, but hey, with the three different best TVs, we can experience every single one of the top quality and just the benefits of like a QD-OLED with its amazing colors and just brightness, clarity, and then with a LG OLED that basically is like the same, just not as, colorful and saturation, but still really good infinite contrast and great clarity. And then now we could experience a TCL QM8 from 2023, and then having the QM7 that we just ordered as a backup if our TV breaks. Now we can experience a TCL mini LED TV with its incredible brightness and an incredible HDR, punchy highlights. And not only that, the low input latency, I forgot to mention, is always going to be better on an OLED, but LED TVs are really starting to catch up with low input latency, and our QM8 that we currently have, as well as this new QM7 that we have coming in just over a week, is like you could get very good and very close to the same input latency. Like we're talking like 60 hertz on the OLEDs, you get around 10 milliseconds at all resolutions, but with TCL, you're pretty much getting 14 milliseconds at 60 hertz, which is really not that much different at all. I don't even think, like, if you're somebody that had a LED TV and an OLED, together, and you had a PS5 on an HDMI splitter with two HDMIs going to both TVs and you're playing the same game, you basically would not be able to tell a difference in terms of the input latency. So LED TVs are really starting to catch up in terms of like the input latency for your gaming. So 14 milliseconds from 10 is not really a big difference whatsoever. You really aren't even going to tell a difference, as you're still going to get a super instant, taneous response on your gaming and whatnot. But however, if you play the TCL TVs at 120 hertz or 144 hertz, you're going to be getting pretty much the same as what you would get on an OLED. You're going to be getting 5 milliseconds up to 6 milliseconds at 120 hertz to 144 hertz. So honestly, this is personally the best thing that we have ever done. And thankfully, we're thankful that we got this 2-bedroom house that we moved in a few months ago. So I am absolutely so thankful for this. And I hate to actually say it this time, and I know, like I said a couple previous videos recently, that we're not going to make any promises, but I think this time it's officially going to be the case. This is probably going to be the last TV that we have, because you got to think we're going to have 4 Samsung QD OLEDs, 4 LG traditional OLEDs, so that way if one of them ends up breaking in the next year or two, we'll have some backup. And I really don't think that we're going to necessarily get any sorts of 8K gaming for pretty much a long time. I mean, developers are still, having a hard time trying to get games to run at 4K on even just a PlayStation 5, let alone a PlayStation 5 Pro. and PC with like, medium, high, ultra settings and whatnot. So I really don't think that 8K gaming is going to be coming around for quite some time now. So, and then now with this addition of the QM7 that we have that is going to be a backup for a bedroom, honestly, the LED TVs have been reported that they can last longer than OLEDs, but then there have been other numerous reports that OLED actually has been lasting longer than LED TVs. But the bedroom area is going to be a room to where we will probably casually play at quite every once in a while. So I don't expect our TCL TVs to break, at least not for a long time. So with this one being a bonus extra backup, I think that we are going to be set for TVs for like the next 10 or so years. And I don't, like I said, I don't expect gaming to go above 4K anytime soon, let alone, or even with the next generation of consoles that are rumored to come out between 2027 into 2028. I don't expect 4K to officially go away from gaming. And even then, 4K is still quite honestly good. I mean, I really just don't think that you're going to get games that are going to look even better than that in terms of clarity. But we will see when the time comes. And as at the moment, Samsung is literally the only brand that makes 8K TVs right now. LG basically just opt out. Sony opt out a few years ago. TCL actually opt out back in 2021 with the QM800, or no, I'm saying a Samsung number. It was the 6 Series 8K TV. That's what it was. Even TCL opt out. So right now, and there's not really that much 8K content, so really, I don't think 8K is going to be coming around for pretty much a very long time. So when you look at all the other brands that opt out at 8K, I honestly just don't think that 8K is going to be a thing for a long time. So 4K is still honestly where it's at, and I think what the TV manufacturers are going to do is they're just going to expand to get higher refresh rates at like 1080p, 1440p, and then let alone 4K. And I think the next generation of consoles may be able to do 4K 120 FPS and then give you the option to play at something like 1080p 240 FPS or 288, because I mean TCL is already doing that right now. And this particular model that we just ordered, the QM7, can actually do 240 hertz at 1080p and 4K at 144 hertz. So honestly, that's what I think that the TV manufacturers are going to start doing, and that the next generation of consoles are probably going to be most likely capable of. But they will have 8K options for people, that want to play 8K at 30 frames a second, 4K at 60 frames a second, and 1080p at 120 frames. I think that is actually what's going to happen. But if we can get 4K 60, most of the gamers out there, including PC gamers, are just going to be very thankful to just get 4K 60 for their single-player games. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you could, smack that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And be sure to leave us a comment down in the comment section down below if this is actually the best thing that we have done. Let us know in the comment section down below if this is actually the greatest thing that we've done, with having a QD OLED as our gaming room TV, with an LG OLED in our living room that is like our second room that we play games in, and now having a TCL mini LED in our bedroom, as well as ordering this one for a backup. You let us know in the comment section down below, and also let us know if you want us to review the QM7 as our, last TV for the year. So let us know if this was smart that we did, and if you want to see a QM7 review once we get this TV in just a week from tomorrow. But that's going to pretty much wrap it, Tech and Gaming Review. So hope you enjoy it. Rate, comment, subscribe, and we shall see you later in the next video. Peace.